What are some techniques and technologies that you feel are most effective at addressing this?
You bet. The first thing we think that's important is to start with the process and to conduct a process inventory, looking at what are the different major processes by division and group. Doesn't take much time to do that. And then rank those processes based upon FTE allocation. What's the cost of the process today? And then how is the process working in terms of quality, efficiency, service, and governance? There's a meeting regulatory requirements. Again, doesn't take much time to do that, but by doing that, we're able to then sort through these areas, working with the organization and saying, okay, here's our top 10. This is where we need to spend the time. From that, creating high-level process maps, it's not hard to do that. It takes an hour, hour and a half uh, for those top processes, and work with the teams and say, okay, what do you think isn't working
Mm.
correctly? What are your ideas for change? It's a simple way to do it. What are the major building blocks of the process? What's the estimated number of detailed steps? And from that, then identify, does the process need to be, thoroughly redesigned point to point, or are there specific areas where it can drill down and make some changes? So the drill down would be looking at step by step how that process works, and also looking at the technology set today. Where, is there any workflow within the organization? How are the data systems functioning? Are they just repositories? Are there gaps in data systems today? Or are there systems that even exist for some of the groups? From that, also identify where are these documents stored. Some organizations are storing them in 5 or 6 different places, and it gets pretty confusing as to what is that single source of truth? Where is my final copy? So by combing through that and then, planning for technologies like electronic content management, consolidating, creating version control for that content, kicking off workflow patterns, also having retention disposition. So we control that in accordance with what is the state schedule, what are federal requirements. These are all important considerations. So starting with the inventory, identify your top areas, do your high level maps for those top areas, and then decide where do you drill down, look at the process, and then look at your technologies. Can you use the technologies that are in place today better? Is there a way to reconfigure them? Or where possible, some of these new advanced technologies. And part of that is establishing what's the return on investment. And we can do that ahead of time by looking at the maps. So we think that that's a good approach for housing finance commissions and for housing authorities to help get them where they'd like to be.